We are back on GMA getting ready for Black Friday, and it's not all laptops and toys. Travel, one of the hottest categories. The points guy, our good friend Brian Kelly, is here with us in the studio, along with Becky Worley, who traveled in from California. So let's start with you, since you traveled all the way. What's your strategy here?
I'm really researching how to get travel deals by traveling to see you.
Exactly.
So to get the biggest deals on Black Friday, you have to pick and cherry pick the biggest expenses in your life. Hello, vacation. So we want to think about cutting those costs down, especially with revenge travel and inflation. They've gone through the roof, starting with hotel deals. So the first one we're looking at, Hard Rock Hotels, up to 50% off your stay, the Hyatt up to 45% off, and the Marriott up to 25% off. And then, don't just limit it to those chains. If you have a favorite hotel that you love, go to their website and look on their offer page, see if they have a code. Then when you get there, you're going to need a car. So car rental deals are definitely live now. We saw one that was Hertz, Dollar, and Thrifty that were 15 to 25% off. And then you can book your car through Amazon. And if you book an Avis car there, you get 30% off and 10% back in an Amazon gift card. And that's like cash. Yeah, who knew?
So that's hotels and cars. What about flights?
So there's so many flight deals this year. Actually, on my way to the studio this morning, the airlines were starting to announce them. My biggest tip for airlines, though, is even if one airline announces a sale, generally the other airlines are copycats. So just like they copy fees when they raise fees, they do the same with airfares. So I highly recommend using Google Flights, because that'll pull in all the different airlines. But what we're seeing is under $250 round trip to the U.S. Virgin Islands, which is a great getaway, especially if you don't have passports. You don't need passports to go there. Europe is on sale. And mind you, these fare sales are generally through April. So you're not going to get peak summer, but I cannot stress enough how nice Europe can be in March and April. So if you've ruled it out for spring break, under $500. And on the way here, I just saw Paris for $320 round trip, all in, on an airline called Fly Norse. They're like the low-cost carrier, but they're perfectly fine carrier.
Where'd you find it? Where'd you find that deal?
That I saw on X, actually. So there are flight deal accounts. It's called the Flight Deal. So follow these cheap fare Twitter X accounts. And as the week goes on, they'll just be sharing them. So, but always verify on Google Flights if you're actually getting the best deal. And sometimes the big carriers will match. So instead of flying a low-cost carrier at the same price, go with the airline that might get you elite status.
And speaking of deals, you and your team found some great deals. And I hear maybe spring break in Hawaii?
Yes, Hawaii. We're seeing under $300 to Kauai, which is one of the most beautiful. You can get, the north side of the island is magical, hiking. So yeah, definitely Hawaii. They also, Cathay Pacific, if you haven't done Asia, they just came out with under $700 round trip fares to Asia this spring. So that's about half off what we're normally seeing. So you can fly to Hong Kong, spend a couple days for that food and culture, and then go to Bali or the Philippines, all for $700.
But you're saying don't book too far out in advance.
Exactly. So the airlines take advantage of nervous Nelly. So if you're going to try to book for next fall, generally these fare sales are only good for the next couple months. However, I'm the points guy. So using your frequent flyer miles, most airlines will open up at 11 months in advance. Frequent flyer mile tickets, and this is even on like the nicest airlines in the world. Qatar Airways, their Q suites are the best business class. They open up a number of seats on the calendar for every single flight about 11 months in advance. So use your points in advance, and you can always cancel them if your plans change down the line with no fees. So
if you see a deal right now, should you snap it up right now? Wait for Black Friday, wait for Travel Tuesday?
I say if you see a great deal now, snap it up. In Google Flights, it'll actually tell you this is a great deal. That Paris deal I was looking at in the car on the way here, it said this is $250 lower than normal. So when you see that green box saying this is good, get on it. And most airlines will let you cancel within 24 hours. So you can book it, check within the 24 hours. If it drops, rebook it. And if it goes up, you got a good deal.
Have you booked your flight home yet?
Luckily, yes, but that deal to Kauai, that sounds sweet. So I'll be in Honolulu soon. I love it. I love it.
Your family
there you
Hawaii.
go. Got to do it.